Holy
Now go.
Jesus Lord. Oh my God!
What'd I tell you?
Everything just locked on me.
Little hat too.
So day one was the first day, and this was probably the most exciting day of the year for me, because it was the day that the GV70 Electrified was delivered by Genesis. And I was also told a lot about the vehicle, although I'd already done a lot of research online, but I still learned some things on this day.
In here, we have your charger. So this is good for the regular 110 plug-in. It's very, very slow. So
7 hours, I would say.
No. It's 7 hours would be a stage 2, a level 2.
So what stage is this?
This is like a stage 1.
Oh man,
so
like
this
14 hours?
No, it's going to be like a couple of days or more, right? So you're either going to want to install a home charger or go to a charging station.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing one of those.
This is fine for people. Just plug it in the garage and top it off, and then every once in a while, right? In here, you got a little bit of room for storage. So this is your tire repair kit.
So the GV70 uses a knob style shifter instead of a conventional gear, and a lot of all the controls are at the center as you would expect. Around the center there's a compartment with a soft press to open, and within that compartment there's a key charger for charging your phone wirelessly, and I'm going to be using that a lot. There's also 2 USB type A ports for either charging your cell phone or connecting to the vehicle. On day 2, I decided to bring it out to check out some charging stations to see how easy they are to find, or even just use in general, just to see what it's like to be an EV driver not looking for a gas station. So as you can see, I'm starting at 184 kilometers, and that's kind of about halfway from 100%, so maybe about 50 to 60% of a full charge. As you can see right there, we've got the climate system. I usually would just set this to auto on whatever vehicle that I'm using. It tends to do the work pretty well. You can separate the driver's side from the passenger side using the sync button on the right there as well, which is pretty cool. Something you want to note is that this is a prestige trim of the GV70 Electrified, and that just means it comes with a bunch of what I like to call extras. So a bunch of things like, for example, the driver's seat massager. So this will allow you to either hit your pelvic, your lumbar, or your entire body. So here we are. It's my first time at an EV charging station. This is ChargePoint, and it's a level 2 charging station. So it's not going to charge the fastest, but it's going to charge about average speeds. Before I began the charging process, I decided to check where I'm starting at, so 170 kilometers. The charging port for the GV70 Electrified is located in a very stealthy location, so blended right into the front grille. So it's really nice, and I really like that it's like that. Getting this all going did not feel like a complicated process, and using the ChargePoint EV charger was pretty easy to use. So they've got an app, or you can pay using a card. So some of them are free, some of them are paid, but at this point I'd yet to find a free one. There's indicator lights located right around the charging ports that will show you this charging status of the EV. You can also find out more information like cost and how much time has elapsed, and even how much you're charging at, right from the screen on the ChargePoint EV SE. I also noticed on the dashboard that there's a status indicator that will let you know how much your battery is charged, as well as how long it'll take to charge it to full. This is the power to load converter, and I've also read a lot about this. So it essentially converts the battery power from the vehicle directly into something you can use to, say, power a blender or power your laptop, charge it, stuff like that, directly from within the vehicle or from the front side, from the same charging port that you will use to charge the EV itself. This could come in very handy for a lot of use cases, especially ones where you don't have access to electricity, say you're camping, for example. So the Genesis GV70 Electrified came with a stage 1 or level 1 EVSE, so a charger that you can use at home. Now, level 1 chargers are the slowest of them all. Like, they'll take up to 3 or 4 days sometimes to charge an EV from 0 to 100%. Essentially, they're only useful for trickle charging, nothing crazy.
Charging started.
After a little bit of charging later that day, I decided to take it out for a spin. So to stop charging, you have to disconnect the charging cable by using the phone app. So there is a Genesis app that will allow you to remotely control the vehicle as well as do other things. I also decided to store the stage 1 charger in the frunk, at least for now. Something that was a little disappointing about the GV70 Electrified is the fact that it uses a wired CarPlay system and Android Auto system. So no wireless system here, which is something that I would have expected here, especially with the wireless charging they've got in the vehicle.
Pricey. And I'm every cake, you play, I make bold this shit. Everyday life is real, so I ride with the stick. When I up it, I swear on me.
Now, boost mode, let's talk about it. It's got to be one of my favorite things about the GV70 Electrified. What it does is it allows you to increase the vehicle's maximum output for 10 seconds. So this way you really get or achieve top speeds that will allow you to get past slow pokes. Once I had it enabled, all that was left was to hit the accelerator, and only a slight tap and you'll feel that difference, trust me. The dashboard also changes up a little bit. Like, you'll notice a bunch of different things, like a timer that's counting down from 10 seconds, and everything else just lights up. It feels like you're in kind of a sports mode. So I like to see it as sort of a boost like you would see in video games. Like, you hit that little X or turbo or whatever, and the car boosts for a little bit and just kind of just takes off. So the dashboard does a bit more than just that. It also shows a camera view of whatever side you turn the signal lights towards. This was pretty cool to me and something that I'm not used to, so loving it on the GV70 Electrified. For a vehicle like this in 2023, you definitely expect to have parking assist features, and the GV70 Electrified does not disappoint. It comes with a bunch of pretty cool features like overhead view, you've got front view, and other ones that I will not be going over in today's video, as this is not a full review of the vehicle. I've always hated parallel parking, and using the parking assist features honestly has been great for helping with that. It's minimized how much I hate it. Now, I kind of don't hate it as much. I still hate it, but not as much.
And you go park. Right there, we're done.
I know, you couldn't even tell that it's turned off. At the end of the day, I decided to check out the ambient lighting and how cool it looks at night. Everything lights up, and you can even customize the colors, change them to whatever color you prefer. Personally, I find that it looks really cool, and I love the entire interior as well as the lighting on the GV70. So at the end of the night, I ended up with 109 kilometers before deciding to plug it in overnight. By the next day, I'd put on a few more kilometers using the stage 1 charger, which was not a lot, but it was enough for me to get around for my day's activities. So on day 3, I decided to bring the vehicle with me to my hair appointment, which I usually have about twice a month. And this was definitely one of the reasons why I picked up the GV70, because I wanted to be able to run my little errands and small appointments. So now that my hairline and my hair was clean and crispy, it was time to head back home. The GV70 Electrified comes with a 14.5-inch infotainment system, and it's the largest that I've personally used, so it's a big upgrade for me. It's also got a touch screen and Genesis connected services, which will basically provide map services and updates over the air. So far, it's been working great, and I love how much wider it is and how much more I can see.
Highway 2 south.
By the time I got back home, I dropped under 100 kilometers for the first time ever using the GV70 Electrified, and that just means about 26%. So as you can see, it's going to take a while to get a full charge, or just up to 80%, which is the set or target charge. So day 4 was rest day. I let the EV get a good amount of charge using the level 1 charger from home. And as you can see, I got up to 287 kilometers from 90 kilometers. On this day, I'd planned on checking out some show homes since I was already on the lookout for a new place to move to because I'm starting to run out of space where I'm at for my work as well as living. So I need more space and I decided to check some out on this day. This is the highlight, the one that I really liked out of everything I checked out that day.
This is probably going to be the new headquarters. Well, if I decide to go with this place for my YouTube channel. Well, if everything goes according to plan, but I've always needed some more space for the work that I do. So it's time for a little upgrade. Gonna end up trying to see if I could do something with this.
Just off the bonus, which is so cool. It's a nifty corner.
Nifty little corner, that's what it is. You'll have to stick around the channel to find out.
On day 6, it was so nice out, I had to bring the EV out to the mountains, and I saw it as an opportunity to find some fast chargers along the highway. Before we drove out, I decided to add my fingerprint to the system because the system does have fingerprint identification for setting different profiles. So you can have multiple drivers that have different profiles. The way you set it up is just like you would on, say, a cell phone. So all you gotta do is put your finger over it multiple times, and once it's done, it'll tell you that it's done and you're good to go. After getting it all set up, I tried it out and it worked really well. You can also see that we had a good amount of kilometers before we took off. This was the first time I took the EV on the highway, so it was also the first time that I got to see the lane assist features come into play. I haven't really said anything about the heads-up display up until this point, and there's so many features, so many things that it can do, so many details and information that it provides while you're driving. There's a button that's located conveniently on the steering wheel for enabling cruise control, and that works so well on the GV70 from my experience. Under the cruise control button, you've got a plus and a minus for increasing or reducing the speed while you're in cruise control. I find that it's very convenient for those long trips.
Meters, take the second exit of the traffic circle.
I had to get that.
As we approached the mountains, I decided to check out a fast charging station in the area.
Charge. For the first time, we're using the fast charger. Plug it right in. This is one of the main reasons I got this car right here. 18 minutes for a full charge from about 10 or 20% to 80%.
So it's supposed to charge a lot faster than this. It's supposed to be able to take up to 350 kilowatts, but I was only getting the maximum 49 to 50 kilowatts, so it wasn't charging at the maximum that it could. I'm not sure if it's just a charging station and if there's variants of them. Maybe there's different ones that can output or provide different levels of power, because this station is fast, but not as fast as I would have expected. Although I didn't get the level of fast charging that I wanted, it still charged pretty quick. I'm gonna keep looking out for a fast EV charger that can provide up to 350 kilowatts to maximize the charging capabilities of the EV. In the GV70 Electrified, there's a few drive and terrain modes. I decided to take the vehicle up to an area that's untarred, unfinished. It's all just sand, rocks, and mud. So definitely a good place to try out a different drive modes for different terrains.
Guess in the winter we'll see the terrains. So test them out better. We're in sand still. I'm gonna switch to mud because it looks muddy now. Okay, mud. There we go. Because there's like water coming down.
This wasn't the greatest test for the terrains, but so far I was impressed, and I'm really looking forward to trying out more of the terrain modes like snow in the winter. So the main reason why I picked up an electric vehicle is because I don't require a vehicle to go to work daily because I work from home. And the way I use a vehicle is mostly just to kind of run small errands for my business or for my work, or just in general, say to like the grocery shops, pick up some item at say Best Buy or whatever. Plus I've also been really curious about what it's like to, you know, drive an electric only vehicle, what it's like to own one and to use it on a day-to-day basis. So for me, this is my first 7 days and the experience has been great. I'm not saying it's been perfect. There's been some things that I don't really like yet, but I feel like I will adapt to. And the main thing that I think that I need to adapt to is the charging time. The GV70 Electrified can charge at up to 350 kilowatts, and that will give you the fastest charging, but you need specific equipment for that. They're called level 3 chargers. Besides fast chargers, you've also got level 2 chargers, which will charge the vehicle from, I think, about 10 to 80% in about 7 hours. So those ones you can install at home, and you find them all over the place. There's more of those than level 3 chargers. I've been charging this vehicle at home strictly since I picked it up because I don't use it that much until today when I had to get on the highway. And even when I got on the highway, I didn't really need to charge it, but I wanted to test out the super fast chargers. So I decided to stop to pick up some gas or charge, whatever you guys want to call it. But essentially, I was able to charge it at home using the level 1 charger, which you get for free with the GV70, all the way up to 100% from about 2 days ago, because it takes quite a while with level 1 chargers. I would definitely suggest not using that unless you just want to top off or get a little bit of trickle charge. So level 3 for sure when you're on the highway, level 2 if you've got a space to set up at home, or if you just want to stop at say Tim Hortons and, you know, be there for a few hours. It's got a matte painting, so I'm gonna have to hand wash this by myself, which I really love, and can't wait to do that. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow, which will be the final day before, like I said, this test is over. Besides the charging, there's actually a lot of things that I love about driving an electric vehicle. So first off, the interior is amazing, at least for the GV70 Electrified. I love it. It's got a lot of technology that is just crazy, just mind-blowing, and I've never actually experienced stuff like that before. I'm not saying these are exclusive to EVs only, but you know, like with this, there's so much more. You get more. Even the other GV70, which is the gas-powered one, does not get all the things that you get with the GV70 Electrified. One of the things that I love about it is the punchy acceleration. That thing is super responsive. And coming from a Chrysler 300, 2009 Chrysler 300, I'm telling you guys right now, I felt that the minute I stepped on the gas or the accelerator, whatever you want to call it. Braking system is kind of weird. It's got all kinds of cool tech. It's got this thing called regenerative braking, which honestly, I'm still getting used to, but I will get back to you guys on it when I figure out more about that. You can ask the vehicle to control temperature, climate, all of that. So many cool things. Like I said, besides the charging, there's not much or anything else that I don't like about this. And the charging, I know I'm going to get used to it. It's all about planning. There's tons of charging stations all over the place. And you can just charge, plug it in while you're going to have some coffee, or even go level 3 on the highway, level 1 when you're home, if you don't want to spend on installing a level 2 charger. Or you just install a level 2 charger at home and charge overnight. Easy. Or even when you're just home. You'll have a full charge every time you head out.
All right, Hannah, what do you think about driving the GV70 Electrified? Like, what are your thoughts on this right now?
One, I feel like I'm on a cloud and I didn't realize I was going as fast as I am, so I'm going to slow down. And the fact that when you're using this map, all of your information is on, I don't know what you call that thing when it projects it on the
heads-up display?
Yeah.
The Apple CarPlay is cool, but I don't want to use it because you can't get that feature.
I would never use it, and this map isn't bad, whereas the map on my Lexus, I hate it. It's not good.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not. When I get into my car, I want to plug in my Apple CarPlay because the features on it are so poor, but this is it's so good. I love it. I really, really love it. I don't know how you hid the fact for me that there's a massager in this car. The seat, not the car, but the seat itself.
Yep, one of my favorite
I'm
features.
gonna fall asleep when you're driving. So during cruise control, like the steering wheel is really, really locked again on cruise control. And then you can see, so if I'm gonna go over this lane, that's wicked. Look at all these people passing me. They're saying you're driving a nice car and you're going so slow like a grandma. That's really cool. And then you can see, the sensor of a car coming up. So now you're gonna see a little block go up here when this car, right there.
Wow, that's my first time seeing it.
There are so many little things.
on day 7, I decided to go ahead and try out another fast charging station. This was also along the highway, but not too far from where I was. So it was easy for me to get to, but I wanted to see if it could give me that 350 kilowatts that I was looking for. So it's a Petro-Canada location. These EV chargers were located at a Petro-Canada location, and they've got these coast to coast across Canada. So if you're looking to venture on a road trip across Canada using an EV, you can do that as long as it can receive fast charging, and then you wouldn't have to wait for too long. So even though this location promised up to 350 kilowatts, I was only getting 43, 42 kilowatts, somewhere around that range. And it was pretty similar to what I got at the first fast charger that I tried out. So still not getting what I wanted. And I don't know at this point if it was the chargers or if it's the vehicle itself. So I'm gonna do some more investigation to find out what the actual problem is. But around now, I figured the car was really dirty and it was day 7. So I decided to wrap things off by taking it to a car wash, a hand-operated car wash, because like I said, it's got a matte painting, and that means I cannot wax it. So I can't take it through automatic car washes, which I'm okay with. To wrap up my first week as an EV driver with the GV70 Electric, I decided to give it a good wash. So I took it to a local hand-operated car wash and gave it a good scrub down. So now I've got it back to the brand new status, and that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like down below, and I will catch you guys in my next one. It's Tommy, and I'm out, y'all.